さん、いつも見てくださってありがとうございます。KachokTV のちなです。今現在は広島に来ておりまして、なぜここにいるかというと、いつもですね、皆さんがたくさんコメントを送っていただいていまして、その中でぜひ広島に行ってほしいという声がたくさんありましたので、今朝ですね、朝5時ぐらいに起きて東京を出て広島にやっと着きました。今日はですね、今から私は平和の博物館に行って、その後はいつも通りのインタビュー動画を外国人にこの場所についていろんな感想を聞いていこうと思います。では行きましょう。My name is Christina. What is your name?
Dimitris.
Dimitris from Greece.
From Greece.
Nice
Yes.
to meet you. How long have you been in Japan?
I think 9 days now.
9 days. And why did you decide to come? Oh, you
My
can
son
join
is
us.
here. Ακύρα, έλα. Στην τηλεόραση τη ρωσική.
Hello.
Συνέντευξη
Hello.
στη ρωσική τηλεόραση. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and why did you decide to come to Hiroshima?
Yeah, because it's a very important place due to the atomic bomb. Everybody knows it.
Mhm. So have you gone to the museum already?
No, just we came today.
Just today.
Yes. We will visit. Yes, definitely.
So what do you think about this place, about this memorial park?
Yes, it's good.
Atomic
It's
bomb.
very good for the peace, for the humanity. Unfortunately, sometimes bad things can turn to good, you know. People, if they're wise, they can avoid the bad things. But somehow, we should doubt the thing if it was necessary to throw the bomb. But in any case, that happened. And now the result is this peaceful place after so many years, so many sacrifices. Yes.
Do you learn in Greece about what happened here?
Yes, yes.
What do you learn?
In a way that the Second World War, to end the Second World War, the Americans threw the atomic bomb here. Yes. Because actually the Japanese were so much self-sacrificing that they were refusing to surrender. So even they prefer to die and to do harakiri, how we say, for the honor. So it was unnecessary. Yes.
So have you heard about the war from your grandparents? Have they participated?
No, I
No.
haven't.
So Greece was in peace
Yes,
at
Greece.
that time?
No. Greece also participated in the Second World War against the Germans, and we fought against the Italians and against the Germans, 2 wars, and we had many sacrifices. And actually, Greece delayed the Germans, so they went later in Russia. And due to this delay, also winter came, and the Russians won the battle in Stalingrad.
But your grandparents, did they also participate somehow? Or?
Yes, they participate somehow. Yes.
Japan is against to having nuclear weapons.
Yes, I think it's good, but you cannot have it also because you have
It's
lost the
damaged.
war, and you are not. Actually, that was good. The good in the bad. In every bad, there's some good. And the good was that the defeated countries like Germany and Japan, they were prohibited to have weapons. So they spent all the money in the development. While in Greece, we are spending a lot of money in defense because we have the Turkey enemy, all the story. And we spend every year millions for airplanes, for ships, for weapons. And all this money can be used for peace purposes. And this good that Japan somehow, the good in this case was that we use the money to develop your country. And now Japan and Germany also are very high developed countries because you don't spend a lot of money in defense. It is good, of course, not to have atomic weapons. Nobody should have them. We are in peace, and people should utilize the noble thinking for making the world a better place to live and not for wars. This is immature thinking and still wild animals. And you in Russia, Christina, you have a lot of wars there in Ukraine.
Sadly,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Okay, nowadays. But this
Yeah.
also, all these games, political games, power games, and people suffering. That is the worst thing, the people suffering. And many people now, even in Ukraine, they are refugees. I had two families in my house in Athens, and in my island, I gave hospitality to two families from Ukraine, some old women and some children. And it's not good what's happening, and peace will prevail. Okay,
I
Christina.
hope that someday the world will become a better place
Yes, okay,
and this won't repeat again.
okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Спасибо.
Спасибо. So my name is Christina. What is your name?
Hannah,
Hannah. Nice to meet you. Where are you from, Hannah?
I'm from Germany.
How long have you been in Japan?
We came here for 3 weeks and we are still here now for 1 week, roundabout. Yeah.
And why did you decide to come to Hiroshima?
Because of the history, obviously, and to remember what all can happen and yeah, how fragile the world is and what is important to. Yeah, how important it is to remember everything and not to repeat everything and get on the cycle every time, because a lot of political in Germany is getting more worse at the moment. So we have more national movements and more people are more racist and. Every one of us
Going more radical.
yes, in Europe as well. So that's get a little bit frightening. So I'm very concerned about that.
So have you already gone to the museum?
No, we
yet.
want to today. Yeah.
But what do you think about this city? What did you do already?
We came here to the park and to see the dome, bomb dome, and we still arrived here with the train, so it's just 1 or 2 hours until now. So
how do you feel so far about Hiroshima, about like those places?
It's hard to feel. I try to get the feeling how it felt that time and to recognize everything. It's somehow it's difficult because everything around is alive and moving, and then you have the building. It's hard to imagine how it has been so far. So and here it's the door, the bell, the peace bell. And especially with the children's memorial, with a crane, so it's getting a little bit emotional.
So actually it's my third time here in the city, and before coming to Hiroshima, I was imagining that it's gonna be like a dark city with heavy atmosphere. But I was so surprised when I came here for the first time because it is like so alive. Like when you just look around, but then again, when you come to those places, when you go to the museum, it's just so like heartbreaking. It gets so heavy, but like the city itself, it's so alive, and I'm so just impressed that it became like this after those years.
I understand as well. It's I haven't recognized everything all around because we just came here, but I think it's very important to move forward, and it is important to be happy on such places too, and to laugh and to love everything else. But it's always good to remember both parts are very important. So.
Yeah, I'm just very impressed that so many people are like living here and they're making this place like so bright and nice nowadays.
It's very open and with the park and the lights, and I think that's very important. Even to keep the building always. So that's very important too, because that is just one imagination of it, what can happen. So
So by the way, have you heard any stories about the war from some of your relatives?
Relatives?
Your like grandfathers or grandmothers?
Especially in Germany, we have some remembrance there. what happened and how it was for our family after the war, how it was to be hungry all the time. That was for my grandmother was really pretty tough and pretty hard, and how the behavior is afterwards. So for my grandparents it's always very important to give everyone food, because they recognized that or remember the hunger so intense. Our generation never felt that, so it's sometimes.
I think like our grandfathers, grandmothers, like in every country are like that, like giving food and never like leaving any foods behind, like never throwing it, just eating until the end.
Oh, in Germany, do you learn about Hiroshima and Nagasaki at
so
school?
what do you learn at school about
Yes, mostly most parts are about German history, obviously, and I talked to my boyfriend about this, how important it is to teach everything about the history, and which crimes are made by your own nationality, and it's both parts are important. Your own history, what your generation, what happened.
So we learn at schools like that about this in a way that it was like one of the biggest strategies in the human history.
Yeah.
What happened here.
Yeah.
So do you also like learn it in that way in Germany?
Yeah. We have been we talked about that. Yes, of course. Obviously, but it was not such a big part like the German history.
Yeah,
but we talked about that. Yeah, in Germany. About the Tom bomb, and we have history in school, so we talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm so sorry to ask you so many heavy questions, but thank you so much.
It's okay. I have no problem with that. So I think it's important to talk about that. So
yeah, you should go to the museum later, but it's just so heartbreaking. Like I cried over there.
Maybe I will too today.
It's really heavy.
Yeah.
Prepare.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My name is Christina. What is your name?
Hello, my name is Anna. I'm from Germany.
Nice to meet you. So, how long have you been in Japan?
For more than a week. And we'll be staying 3 weeks total.
And why did you decide to come to Hiroshima?
I think for everybody who comes to Japan, it's one trip which you have to make to come here to see the remainings of the memorial here, and especially as a German, we participated in World War II on this side of Japan, so it's like for us the memory of the war is very present, and so we're pretty interested in the history, and so it's a must see here. Yeah.
So you haven't gone to the museum yet?
No, not yet.
And how do you feel about this place, about the atomic dome and like this peace park?
I think it's very peaceful here. I think it's a good preservation of the memory. I think it's good that they decided to keep the dome as it is, and I think it's very, very nice here, very peaceful. I think most of the people are very respectful, and it's not too crowded. So I think it's a good atmosphere here.
So have you heard any stories from your grandparents about the war?
Not too much. So we know that, like I know my grandfather participated in the war, but he got injured, and so he got home safely. But yeah, I've never talked to my grandparents about it because they died, all of them, when I was not too old, like 10. So there are not too many memories left with people who actually participated. So yeah, there's not too much information. So when I reach the age of like where I'm interested in the topics, most of the people who have participated you can really talk to, they're already gone.
Yeah, certainly. All Great. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Christina. What are your names?
Renee,
Dominic.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from, guys?
Australia.
Australia.
Mm.
And how long have you been in Japan?
Just over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Over 2 weeks. And why did you decide to come to Hiroshima?
We really wanted to learn more about the history.
Mhm.
I feel like in Australia we don't learn a lot about Japan and what
Yeah.
happened here in Hiroshima. So
Yeah.
we were really interested in
a
learning.
friend also recommended it as well.
Yeah.
He lived here for a while, so he said it was nice. So,
Mm.
yeah.
So far, what have you done in Hiroshima?
We only got here this morning, so
Yeah.
we've pretty much
checked in, walked here, looked around over there, and then came and went to the museum.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So how do you feel after going to the museum?
Kind of feel kind of sick. Like it's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, it was really heavy, right?
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend.
Mm.
But yeah, I could feel a little bit sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it
sad.
was, there was moments where it was hard to keep the emotions
Yeah.
at bay. Like it was,
Yeah.
Especially like the children area where they
Yeah.
have like the clothes
yeah,
of the children. It was really hard. And like all those signs, like the text written,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
so like alive, right? Like
Mm.
so like there it was
Yeah.
the words they're saying.
seeing the pain.
Paintings, I think, were really
And the
Yeah.
paintings as well. Yeah.
paintings were really brutal.
Yeah, the depictions of the aftermath of it and seeing people just in so much pain.
Yeah.
And it was pretty heartbreaking to
Mhm.
see.
Mm.
But I feel grateful that we saw it.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah, I think like they're making a great job at maintaining this museum, right?
Mm.
It's so, and like the price is so
Yeah,
affordable.
Yeah.
It's so
I was gobsmacked,
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's very
Really-
surprising. I
really
would
cheap.
pay more to see it
Yeah.
for sure. But
for
yeah.
sure.
Mm.
So, and how do you feel about the city, Hiroshima?
We haven't seen a whole lot of the actual city.
Mhm.
We sort of walked straight from our accommodation, which is near the Okonomiyaki village place. So we're going to look at that a little bit later. So we haven't really seen the city, but the park's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's really pretty.
It's also really impressive how
Yeah.
far they've come in really not that
Long.
Long.
Right? Yeah.
Mm.
We went-
rebuilding everything.
We stayed at Miyajima, like the island. That was
Mhm.
really beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really nice. Really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really lovely area of Japan so far.
So you mentioned that you don't learn a lot about the history in Australia, but how do you learn about this? What happened? What did they teach at school?
Well, I think we did learn like a little bit about it, like sort of year 9, it's like in history class in high school. Not a whole lot, but you know, I knew it happened and that kind of stuff. But I think it sort of depends on what you chose in school,
Yeah,
what
and
sort of subjects you chose.
I feel like it's not very detailed
Mm.
because we learn a lot about world history as a whole. So there's a lot of other countries we'll learn about and
Yeah.
what happened in different wars, but not from the perspective of Japan, for instance.
Mm.
Mhm.
So I feel like it was a lot more detailed,
Yeah.
Mhm.
being able to actually learn what happened from the perspective of people here as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from your grandparents or grandparents about the war?
Yes, my grandpa, who passed away last year, he was in
Sorry.
the war, but from Australia's side of it. So I think up in Darwin, which is in the Northern Territory of Australia, he was part of like Morse code, and I'm not entirely sure what he did, but that was pretty cool that he was part of the war in some sense. But
Mm.
I don't have a lot of stories from his perspective.
But he came back.
He was
So he
in
was-
Australia,
he
like
was in-
situated in Australia. I don't know the whole story about it.
Yeah. I think you work for the postal service. I think it was like
No, he was in the war.
yeah, no, but through the postal service.
No.
He was just a soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But situated in Australia, he didn't go overseas.
Yeah. So he would have been doing.
He
like,
would have been more on the
communications
defence
stuff.
side, yeah,
Mhm.
communications, if we were going to have an invasion. So,
Yeah.
and your grandparents,
Nah, I've never really. I don't think my grandfather was in the war because I'm from South Africa, so
Mm.
I don't know a whole lot. But nah, I don't think so.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so
Beautiful.
much, and sorry for so many heavy questions.
No, that's
Right?
okay.
I hope
Good.
you have like a good day after this.
It's hard to comprehend. It's hard to comprehend.
皆さん、今回の動画はここまでになります。今回はかなり胸が痛くなるような難しい質問が多かったんですけど、答えてくれた方々ありがとうございます。世界で起きている争いや今現在ロシアとウクライナで起きている戦争が一日でも早く終わってほしいので、今からお祈りして帰ります。ではですね、今回もこの動画を皆さんご視聴いただいてありがとうございます。では失礼します。